I'll restart the recording and start the live stream. Welcome everyone to the 39th Health Teaching Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. It's Tuesday, July 21st, 2015, and we'll begin the workshop with Mr. Keshe at the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another health workshop. We try to make it as easy as possible to understand, as difficult as nobody can understand it. But somewhere in between, you'll come to understand part of it. The process which we have started a couple of weeks ago, changing the course and the direction of the teaching towards more plasma technology than just understanding of the work of the plasma in respect to the body of the man or the environment of the body of the man. This morning we were adding to knowledge, and yesterday we were adding to knowledge the same. Why don't you put a hat on it like yesterday and then we take it off? Put that yellow bag on top. It solves your problem. The process of what we have taught up to now has been to understand the work of the human body as, or food for the human body, as a matter and a gas state. As I explained earlier today in the teachings of the knowledge seekers, we have reached a point in the knowledge that we have to walk away from singularity of working with a matter, but to work with a combination of matters. And the combination of matters should have one source, and that source has to be flexible to become what you wanted, where you wanted, the way you wanted, for a specific part of the body of the man, or for consumption as an energy by the body of the man. What does this mean? It means that up to now, when we wanted to have food to be absorbed by the body of the man, we went to different resources and different sources, and what we did, we took orange for vitamin C, we took something else for vitamin D, we took calcium, we took potassium, whatever we did, and somehow we took all these in, and in this process, then entering the body of the man, it changes characteristics from the matter to a gaseous state, as we have explained, that in a gaseous state, in releasing its energy across the wall of the intestine, then this matter plasma condition became in the lymph condition of the body of the man, and as it traveled through the body, at a given point, in accordance with the information from parathyroid glands and the emotional part through the neurosystem of the physical part, the lymph in one point changes to skin, in another point changes to heart, muscle, in another point changes to a blood cell, or even in one way or another into the bone. So what happens if we change this process? We have seen the conversion of the matter through becoming gans in the body of the man to a lymph, and then lymph as a plasma changes to what is needed at the point of need. So this has been as part of what we've done and part of what we have seen in development technology in understanding the working of the body of the man. We are going one step further. The step further we are going is, in fact, is what about if we create this state, which is the plasma state in the lymph, outside the body of the man. And instead, through all this process of conversion to make the physicality and the emotional part, just feed directly the body with it. So, in understanding this is not something strange. This is what most of the Keshe Foundation guys and women and children around the world for the past couple of years have been doing. You had a matter, which is here. You changed it into a nanomaterial, and then you change this nanomaterial in a gaseous state, separated atomic molecular structure, and then you put it into the reactors, rotated it, or you sandwiched it the way we've seen Alex has done and other people doing, and you use the energy of the plasma directly to the body of the man. So this way, we bypass the need for specific items and minerals which we might not have or we might need in a space. So what we've done with the new technology is we bypass the matter state. And this is where we started all this work from the beginning. If you go back to the beginning, early teachings, the emphasis was the definition of different structures, the heart, the lung, the everything else, the stomach, the intestine, and everything else, to refer and explain that everything is in a plasma condition. Now that we are some 6 months down the line, a year down the line, and we have opened the knowledge further and further, now you can see in reality we are done with this. This, in the work of the foundation, in reality does not and should not exist anymore. Because as now we can create a free plasma, this is what is happening here. This is exactly the process in this box, creating a free plasma environment. The same as this motor on the floor. They are creating free conditioned plasma. Now we know what it is. So we can dictate what this plasma can do, that it leads and it can be absorbed by the body of the man without going through digestion system. Don't forget, from the beginning, I repeated one simple thing. Man uses 20% of energy needs through consumption of the food, and 80% of it comes through environment. So with feeding the body of the man with the plasma, we cannot give it as a food. We can provide the environment that allows the body to have both gradients of gravitational and magnetical, that it can take what it needs from its environment, that it feeds and sustains life. And now that we have learned how to create plasma, in reality, we can rely 100% on feeding yourself through plasma technology. This is where we started, because in space, you cannot take a cattle, God knows a sheep, 2 chickens, and God knows what. We are not carrying the boat of Noah. Impossibilities. But we're carrying the knowledge, the true knowledge of boat of Noah, which was when you carry plasma, you can have any animal in taste, color, shape, texture, smell. So in fact, boat of Noah carried only the plasma. It was the man, to his imagination and understanding, could make anything he liked from it. Don't forget, you eat, as we said, different vitamin and whatever enters your body as a plasma, then the body decides what's going to be reverted back to calcium, potassium, whatever, according to the energy which is coming and is stored at that strength. So now the boat of Noah is one plasma. You decide what you like it to be. You want 2 giraffes or 4 elephants. It doesn't make any difference. You can have a snake or whatever, but you'll have it in the energy, the state of the plasma of the matter. So now you see the whole understanding and why from the beginning, when the teaching on the health started, I kept to one side, emotion and soul, and not to do with physicality. Everything was explained in little nitty-gritty, how they make a star formation, how they do this to convert, and always explain from plasma point of view is what it delivers emotionally, that in the emotion of the man converts when is needed as a soul to the material is needed. To increase it or decrease it. You're back. So this is where we see the changes. This is where the knowledge of a man changes in the space technology. We are not here as a space program. We are here as a spaceship program. A spaceship program means making a system from the reality of the plasma, which is a ship within all the structure of the plasma. Because it's the plasma which makes the structure. There is no physicality to the structure as you are used to getting on a jumbo jet. You decide the wall, the thickness, the color, the material, and with one switch, you can change it to be applicable in different conditions and magnetic fields. On Earth, you have planes to fly, cars to drive, ships to go on the sailing in the water, because each one is conditioned for different environment. In space, there is one environment only, and that is only magnetic, plasmatic, gravitational magnetic field, nothing else. But of the different strength, and the density of the strength of the plasmatic gravitational field. So in space, you cannot have aircraft made of aluminum and you enter an environment where the aluminum is a soup. You lose your craft and your passengers, you all fall out. Where you fall out, God knows. It has happened, don't worry. So it's the same with your stomach. You've got to deliver an energy which can be absorbed by the body, but it doesn't dissolve the digestion system. These are all something in a coming time you have to handle. But you find out you have to build a craft that in its environment can support the physicality if need be. So it has to be stronger than in gravitational magnetic field. Remember one thing, that everything in the world of plasma beyond the matter state only exists in a gaseous state and no other states if it's going to be having physical entity and identity. So it comes to one point. If now you have gathered the knowledge to be able to build a craft from interaction of magnetic fields of the craft into any shape of the size of the dome you like, why and how you can't use the plasma condition to create whatever shape you need in the body of the man. You want to create a toe, you create the gravitational magnetic field of the combination of the elements of the toe, you have a toe. The question is, if you understand how position in the health changes in the coming time, you ask yourself one question. Would any man will be limbless or legless? Would you be losing your leg and never having it for the rest of your life? These become history of the past, because now we can understand, we can create condition that creates all the necessary gravitational magnetic field in an environment where you can allow the body to create its own leg. We've done it with the toe. Now, understand, we can extend it to a larger scale organs of the body of the man, because we are not going through there to go there. We can use the information available, create the environment. The imagination does not need to be used, but the current flow from the brain, connection to the lymph and the blood system allows the leg to grow. You can do it within hours, months, or less. So the technology is entering a breaking ground, and as you've seen, by producing free energy, as you call it, you can have free limbs and legs and heart and whatever you need. This is why we are consistent with all our teachings from the beginning when we started. Now you see everything is merging together. Everything is coming together. This is what we said years ago. We do not take any food to a space because you don't need to. You carry a plasma condition, and at a point when you want banana, you make banana. When you want chips, you make chips. When you want bread, you make bread. But don't forget, the body doesn't know bread. The body knows the energy in a plasmatic condition that these items deliver for its survival and physicality. You deliver the packages of the energy, and because you know emotion again is another packages of the same thing, you can deliver the emotional packages with a physicality in the same dance that once you receive this, you feel you already had banana. This process is approaching very fast. Now that we release the energy, we release now very soon the process of conversion of the plasma into matter. Then you understand how fast the development has come to be. How fast you can change everything. How fast you can bring the plasma to matter state physicality of the man, but it's still in the gangster state, or reverse it back to a plasma to use it somewhere else when you need it. All the teachings we've done for past weeks and months has been to bring you to the point of not schizophrenic, but plasmatic phrenic, which means you do and think everything in a condition of plasma and no more. And once we achieve this, then you understand the doctors of today will have no jobs in the future because they're all trained in physicality. Now you have to train the doctors to understand the motion of plasma, interaction of plasma, how plasmas in their interaction as against lead to production of the cells or organs or whatever in matter tangible state. This is where it's going to be very difficult for a lot of people to twist their mind to understand the next phase of understanding of the whole structure of the creation in the universe. Because you touch yourself, you think you're a matter. But in fact, in the body of a man, there is no matter. There is not even, yes, there could be a matter if you inject yourself with a metal needle and leave it in there. Then you're a matter. But otherwise, everything else is plasmatic. It's in a gaseous state of different strength to make the bone, the blood, and the rest. So the tangibility of physicality has fooled man to understand the totality of the creation. And this is where we sit and where the change has to come. Because now you know how you can change the energy package by a slight increase or decrease from vitamin C to vitamin D and from vitamin E to vitamin C. Because the body only sees vitamin C when it needs it. The balance, whichever is higher or lower, is released in the environment to be taken or given back to where it's needed. So from now on that we enter the spaceship program in full blast for the next few weeks and thereon, we don't go back into the matter state anymore. Matter does not exist in the universe under the condition of gravitational magnetic field of a given environment forces appearance of matter according to a strength which is created. What this means is the atmosphere of Earth has created a condition that matter can be seen as copper, zinc, or whatever. If we take the same material and go to planet Zeus or somewhere in the space, you'll find it disappears because the gravitational magnetic field of zinc here is in a matter state. In another position in the universe, it could be in a gaseous state or a gaseous state, or just free energy plasma condition floating in atomic structure. So you understand the matter state in the physicality of universe is position magnetic gravitational dependent. And that's all it's going to be. So your food, what is your pleasure to eat, the water you drink will not be the same in the universe if you are a passenger of space technology as a spaceship program, a spaceship people. If you understand this, then you understand there is no limit in the traveling of the man into space, in time, space, and position. Because once you know how to carry plasma, you do not need to come back to Earth. You choose your place. You choose your destination, and you choose how you want the plasma to be changed at the point of need. In the coming weeks and coming months, we start showing the conversion of a plasma into matter state. I explained this in the teachings this morning and in the past couple of weeks in a very slow way, but the time is approaching that we have no option but to work only in a plasma condition, and only in a plasma condition which is acceptable to the state of the emotion of the man. It's the emotion and the soul which dictates the condition of appearance of the gans to be physical. If your emotional part, which is part of the structure of your soul, does not agree or does not fit the strength at a given point, that given point will never happen. You'll never materialize. Back to the future, being in a state of matter, coming back at the same time, will not exist, cannot exist. And in the coming time, Arman is working on it. We can show you how. I was just discussing it with Marco during the end of the discussion with the, what they call the Spanish group. We can create a condition where while you watch, you see materials of different condition appear around and within the environment you are. I have guided Alex in the past couple of weeks to go through this process, and he has seen some effects, but he doesn't understand it. Conversion of energy into gas is already seen, and he tries, and he will explain it when he comes. Because I told him what to do, and literally done. This is not theories anymore. This is not something that's going to might happen. Because I have found people who understand the level of plasma, I can tell them what we need, what can be done, and you find that just do it. And you get to what you want, and they can show it. And it's the same process as I started with Marco and Armin. Because from now on, I take charge to develop very fast one-track plasma technology. Up to now, it was for you lot to understand. We presume you have understood. Now we go at the speed that step by step, you will see developments which to you up to even a week ago was impossibilities. Creating matter out of a space. Because now we can transfer plasma in a given condition. We create an environment the same as the body of the man. It receives only lymph. It gives the emotion and through the blood and a right current, what you call through the nerve system, and it changes to be the same plasma, the skin of the man or your nail. There is no destination written on your, what do you call it, lymph, what you're going to be. Lymph is a continuous ball of plasma floating, and at a given time, the amount of energy given and the emotion attached to it, the energy of emotion dictates if it's going to be a cell of a heart or something else. So now we're going through the same process. In fact, we create a box, call it the human body box, and then we decide to copy to make a heart by just injecting the right plasma, creating the right condition, and we start seeing materials in a gas state forming. In fact, what we do, we reduce the strength of the gravitational magnetic field of the plasma to the plasma of the cell. That's all we're doing. The environment we create is the slowing down process environment, nothing else. This is nothing new. You understood this if you were with us from the beginning, that when the plasma of the sun interacts with the plasma of the earth in the upper atmosphere, it leads to gravitational magnetic field of an element we know as nitrogen. So when the Earth's gravitational magnetic field puts a barrier in front of the flow of the plasma of the sun, the product is nitrogen. So we created a barrier which creates this. It's very much like you put an ice on the table, or you put it in the water, or you drop it in the hot boiling water. You create a condition, what will come out of it, how fast it melts. Or you have a steam in the room, you decide there's a lot of moisture, you're going to have nothing to be seen because you create the heat, you cool it down, you get a moist, and you freeze it, you get ice on the window. So you create an environment. Now in the plasma condition, we create a plasmatic barrier, gravitational magnetic field barrier against another. The byproduct, the friction of it, gives you the gravitational magnetic field plasma of a nitrogen. So we are not doing anything different, but now we understand by running these reactors, which you see, how we can strengthen the condition, how we can change the condition to get what we need. Now we are converting very directly energy of a free plasma into energy of a system, and today it's 78.8, 14.5, which is more or less five and a half times what we take out of the grid, we're putting back into the grid. And if you can say 60 kilowatt hour, and we can convert this 60 kilowatt hour to vitamin C, then you've done a great job. You have millions of vitamin C energy packages. Because the energy you read on these meters is not electron vibration. It's a plasma flow which manifests itself at the packages of vibration energy. The whole game of creation according to the man's understanding, has turned upside down. This is why a lot of people will oppose this, because they have to rewrite the books. They have to re-educate themselves. And I always say I have a very good memory going to Iran. They were appointed 5 head of universities to decide if my technology was right or wrong when I went to Tehran. As I told you before, 4 immediate green light, yes. The 5th one says, Mehran, I have a problem. I'm retiring in a few weeks' time. If I say yes, I have to stay and carry it out. I stay neutral. Means I don't need to educate myself. That's where the opposition comes, because that's where we sit. It's not that the technology is wrong, it's just a lot of people have to rewrite. Doesn't happen in your generation, it would have happened the generation before. You had the pleasure of it, you would have understood it. Now it happens to you, the next generation will have the pleasure of it. But it has to happen sometime. It has to come, and the time for it has come now. The ones who are at the seat of power will not accept, because then all their PhDs worth nothing. So, as I said very recently, shall we open a cemetery for PhDs? Because we have to all take it back. It's buried, it's finished, has no value. And with a new technology, do we need to create again the division of lack of intelligence? The more stupid we get, the higher degree we give, we call it the professor. And then the lower level becomes the doctor. Because in a way, with a technology like this, understanding of the structure of the creation, we need to know the totality. Because here, you're a plasma physicist, it comes to changing the food, you become a nutritionist, physicist. Here, it comes to create the motion, you become a space specialist. But it's all the same plasma. It's all the same package. It's all understanding that the creation is the same. It's us who decides how we want to see it. We want to see it as mineral, as animal, as ourselves, a space, motion, or food. This is going to be very heavy for a lot of people, because the division in owning how much of each has created position of power for the weak. If you can control the vitamin C, if you can control the energy, if you can control the motion, you all become bosses. Now, there are no bosses. This is where the change comes. You decide on how and where. And as I said this morning teaching, and I repeat it again, give a man a fish, you have to feed him all the time. Teach him how to fish. He feeds himself, he doesn't need you. The point is not teaching and feeding, is how grateful you want to be in respect to him. I want to control you, I feed you. I want you to be loved and be independent. I teach you how to feed yourself. This is the love of a father or abuse of a king and a master. This is where it comes, and this is what I say. There is no need for kingship. There is no need for degrees to be called professors and doctors and claim stupidity to the absolute limit. So now, can you imagine? You all go to space and you're, good morning, doctor, good morning, professor, good morning. Only doctors and professors can go. Titles don't exist unless it's the lack of confidence in potential use of the knowledge. So you have to understand now, from the beginning, when everything was getting thought about the structure of the body of a man, we listened to the present medicine, literature, and I kept on explaining about emotion and a plasma condition. Now you see where it comes, because the foundation is set. The doctors of today need a new job, unless they can train themselves to become plasma physicists, understand the structure of the plasma. Last Friday, I don't know if you noticed, we had a visitor here to two guys, two old and young men. They were outside. And the older man is a father-in-law, and the younger man is a doctor, engineer in electronics, engineer in whatever, and he is specialized in solar cells. I showed him the structure. I said to the father-in-law, you better find a new job for your son-in-law. He has no job. Because with this technology, his degree worth nothing, because who's going to pay when you can create 5 times more energy out of nowhere? It's the same with those which carry food, control of energy. All these controls have gone through. Because now that your eyes has opened up, there is a new structure, a plasma. You can understand plasma is part of everything you are. You decide to start the conversion. You decide what I want the plasma to be, the gold, or I want the plasma to be vitamin C, or I'm short of energy, I would like it to have a taste of cola. Because now you can change the energy to taste, color, anything you like. Because everything you see, you taste, is nothing but energy. So it comes to one point. Do we need to teach you anymore? Or you are well educated, you have to understand it yourself to become literate in the world of the plasma of the universe and illiterate in the world of creation, to understand that the more you know, the less you understand, and the less you know. So, how you want to play it? How do we, from tomorrow, you know how to create a free plasma, create a barrier that it gives you banana. And then we have a banana specialist plasma shop down the road. You go to milk one. It's very easy. It's been done before. How we can lease it to milk them more. This is what has come from China. Find a way to lease these free energy systems to people to get more money out of them. We change one greed of a man with another one. We tell you, we charge you that much, we teach you. If you don't want to charge, we make it for you. That's what it does. And the strangest thing is, there's a lot of claim on the internet. These have to be certified if they're not dangerous. We taught everybody to make it at home. You're doing it yourself. Certification means delay in people receiving it, and only people who support their own pocket ask for licensing. Because now, tomorrow, you knowledge seekers are making it yourself. Make sure you have a license. Because it doesn't need a license. It does not create any point of reference, because all of you are producing, can produce these materials at home. And the novelty of it is how you use it, how you want to compact it. Why don't you, the way you have, you made a bunch of ganses. The objection was that when you drink the gans is criminal. We said you don't drink a gans. You put the gans in a container and you drink the water you like, or go inside it. Now, there's no difference. Now, you made beads. Make beads the size of your belt and wear it. The energy goes in the body, it takes what it likes. Who's going to claim contamination? Or, I'm happy, I don't need to be fed. Because if you put the right belt around your body that it doesn't touch us, it's just a field, the body only takes what it likes. Don't forget, in the space you walk, day and night is also some plasmatic fields of magnetic field travel through. Your body only takes what it likes, nothing more. And people who come with a suggestion that it could be dangerous or whatever, my God, it means you haven't even understood the science, let alone the rest of it. Because our body only takes, you walk outside, you don't get the X-ray, but you have a plasmatic gravitational magnetic field of X-ray traveling the planet like so. Your body takes what it likes. Now you can build yourself a GANS belt and walk around all year. You don't need any food. Don't forget, It's your intestine. You're feeding the lymph. The lymph goes, takes energy, what it needs, delivers what it needs. And the lymph cannot explode. Lymph takes as much energy, which is allowed to carry by emotion. So from tomorrow, you can start selling food belts. Very simple. Put your gas papers on and make a pattern on it, different design. It is serious. It is so serious because you cannot understand. If that belt can absorb so much energy and put in a grid, you will not be measuring it, not me. You think that plasmatic energy cannot be absorbed by your body? Where is the criminality? Criminality comes from the ones who are ignorant. So you have to understand with the plasma, if it's a ray, it distorts. It's a plasma. It takes and it gives. People who come up with all this nonsense, they haven't understood the whole plasma business. Plasma is very simple. It finds its position. So, food belts made of cans, you can start making tomorrow and start walking and see where it puts. You can put it anywhere. Would it create you cancer? You have to decide, because it will not do for me, but if emotionally you're not fit, because you want a cancer to get attention, it might do for you. We eat all the same food, we walk out happy, one get food poisoning, or one get disturbance of the conscious of what is eaten, and is sick. How come the others are not sick? How many times you've been out, we all ate the same food, 20 of you, one is sick. Why? Have you ever asked yourself why? Why we have people who go sick on food? Poisoning exists, no doubt. But when you eat the same food, it means I need attention. When I'm sick, I get your energy. So give them a belt. They don't need to get sick. I told you, you change the structure yourself, not me. How many of you, if you understand the whole process of energy transfer, have managed to carry any guns in motors with you around your body in a mixture? Because what do the Eskimos do? Eat the same food. Africans eat the same juice from the same palm 7 days a week because there is nothing else. They're still tall, handsome, strong, because the energy, once it's digested, converts to lymph. It's the lymph which changes it according to the desire of need of the body. All this, excuse my French, the bullshit which has come out of food industry is through the window. Because now they cannot control you, because now you understand the totality. You wanted a free energy, now you have a free food. While you're having a free food, you have a free energy. Because it never finishes. If you make a nice food, mono, yeah, you'll have a problem because everything goes in the same. Make it a cocktail. Why not? You don't need to be sad anymore, Mr. Dr. Donto. If you want, you can change it to knowledge. You understand every language. But you have to know where to push. So, this is what is about to happen. This is not what we brought you. This is what we walked you into it, and you all fallen in trap. And strange enough, millions, tens of millions of people listen to this, replicate it, do it, teach it, and now you were happy to teach people to have a free energy. I hear free energy. Now I have given you free food through the same process. You don't need to eat it. You create an environment, you walk through it. If copper can be cancerous, claim is, so is the environment, because it's full of copper. I walk through this room, it's full of wires, it's full of copper, so I am contaminated. They say, walks, talks. So now you've been looking for free food. Now you had your free food. And it's all in that cup. The game is so sensitive that, as I said today, half of the network have been cleaning, understood. Because don't worry in what you understand. Worry about what the others don't understand to make you worry because of their own stupidity, not because of your knowledge. You have in your possession the whole package of food which can be absorbed in a plasmatic gravitational strength by the body of the man if he needs it. The response is very cheap. You build your own system. You did the same thing as with the GANs. With the GANs, you limited yourself to whatever you could put. Do the same thing with the beads, but do the same thing with the plasma. And then you find out universe is your oyster. Whatever you need is there. There is no energy which is not within the atmosphere of this planet. We choose what we want, when we want, according to our evolution. I was explaining recently, it's us who decide to be a boy or a girl, a man or a woman, and even in the middle, if you change your mind and you know where to touch, you can change your sexes. There is no homosexuality. You just want to be a woman, now you're a woman. You want to be a man? He's got a problem with this. If you look, this is the map of this planet. Gravitational magnetic field of the sun and the rest of this solar system on top of what is in the galaxies has decided one of us will be black in the skin, white, close-eyed Japanese, maybe white skin as I've never seen in my life, Russian, and short but stubby South American. Because of the gravitational field and magnetic field of this planet. If gravitational magnetic field has such a power, a plasma, to dictate the size, the color, the shape of a man, how does it get to you? Except through its environment and through its field itself. Here, you're white, because if you're black, you die. You absorb all the cold. Have you been to Africa? You walk in at 30 degrees, 35 degrees, and the African is wearing a blanket. It's too cold because he's used to 40, 45, 10-degree drop, climatization. You do the same here. Then you see what you are told today is what your planet has been doing to you. How come now that we explain it, we become terrorists? Because your stupidity doesn't allow you to accept the reality. Radiation is part of the structure of the man, but in a plasmatic form. Now we have to understand how food has changed from a plasma to matter. This is the plasma of the sun. In the slowing down, eruption has changed into the matter which created this world of what we call Earth. And then we eat it, we change it again to a plasma, we call it lymph, and then this lymph converts its energy to the structure of the man as a GANs. So you can decide, now that you know plasma, in which state you want to feed yourself. You become the decision making. Now you have a freedom. In time, as I said, very soon, you will see flow of a plasma at the room temperature. You don't know it's there till it manifests itself at the condition which you decide for it to manifest itself. So, in a coming time, a lot of medical doctors will have a huge problem with this technology. You will see all the rules and regulations they can throw in the parliaments of the world, they throw, because they don't tell you, now they found I'm stupid, I have to protect myself and tell them they're criminals. You'll find everything with energy situation. Do you know how this technology is going to be accepted very fast, very easy? And that's the worst way to happen. You give me an earthquake with 5 million people dying in it, no tents, nothing. You walk in with the cups, cans in it, people drink, 1,000 people from it. Then they worship it. Why should we go to that limit? Then actually understand it, develop it, control it, that we all understand the correct way to use it. Only agents of devil advocates push for blockage, because the masters have to pay them. So you have the plasma. You have now understanding of the totality of the structure of the creation. You use it in a free way, you have energy. You use it in another free way, you have food, which is energy, again in different packages. This is where the total knowledge has come together. From food, energy, motion, material, and whatever else you want to call it. Now, for the first time, you understand where we come after 2.5 weeks, 2.5 months of teaching, plus another year before with all the online teaching, which means frees man from the shackle of every control. This is where there is a need for peace. Today is 21st, it's the second day of peace. And I said, I'll force it if I have to. I'll bring it to the point that you lick it, you suck it, and you play with it, and you call it the best thing man could ever have, peace. Because when you have no need to be told, and you can feed your child tonight, no child in Africa should go hungry tonight. What happened to you lot? You have it, you sit here and you're worried how to make it, teach it to the Africans, teach it to half of Italians, which they go to sleep hungry because they can't afford it. Very simple. Then you understand the game of life for man has changed in a very good way. In a good way that it serves every man equal, irrespective of position and the color and the race and where they live. Because now you have learned the totality. From plasma, you can have anything you like. And it's very easy. You made it because you can't see it, you have a doubt in it, and the people use this to tell you it's dangerous because then they lose their money from their paymasters. This is the problem. This is where everything goes wrong. Because you have to stay stupid, that we can control you. But when you're wise, you know how to transfer energy, you know you can create gravitational magnetic field of different strength. Carrier gives you different material, then you're free. And that freedom is not good for some people. Because look at it this way. This is the sun. It erupts its gravitational magnetic field plasma throughout the whole solar system. Somewhere here sits the man. You have a composition material state, but gives you nitrogen in balance of interaction. Here you sit in Saturn. The element interaction gives you helium. It's the same ray, It's the field interaction of the matters within the Saturn which gives that condition. So now this is your stomach. You create a magnetic field. At this level, instead of nitrogen, it's calcium. And at this level, in your lower middle intestine, let's say, it's potassium. If you have a deficiency, it means you have to find out where the instruction comes for the deficiency. If you have a lack of certain vitamins, it means go and find out what it means. What is the emotional feeling creation in lack of certain elements? Why do you need the blood? The effect of finding the level of the plasma of your own body. This goes back to what we were teaching last week about having the cups that you can put your hands on it and make a copy of yourself, because you transfer your own information into the container. Would you like to drink yourself? Very simple. How many people would like to eat themselves? Give them a gas and say, if you like the taste, stop killing. Only a maniac cuts himself, mutates himself. So you want to teach people how it feels to kill for the soul of the dead, cut their hands or cut a little bit of blood, put their hands on it and say, drink your own. And you see if they do. Why do you kill? It's one of the best deterrents for man not to touch, because the emotion hits the emotion part of the man. And that's how you get the man to walk away from wars. When he has to taste his own blood through his own energy and emotion. Then you find peace comes in barrels. Nobody is prepared to kill because they know how it touches them. Because they feel the blood. They don't taste the blood. Don't forget what we said. Get a cup, make it, and put it in another cup as its cover. You don't ever drink it, but you receive the energy of it, which emotionally not accept. So now you have to decide. You were happy with just having a free energy. Now today you go to a disco and have a party. Now you have a free food too. Because from today, if you understand this and you can play with your plasma the right way, you don't even need to hold it. You convert it to what you like and you have whatever you like. Now, this is not a dream. This is the reality of free food. And anybody tells you you cannot do it, it says, how come my body is made of it? I'm not hurt. But just because you want me to feel, to control me, I have to have a fear of getting hurt. Your body is full of copper oxide GANs. Without it, you don't have a nerve system. You can't feel. If you don't have copper oxide as a GANs in your body, you can chop yourself off. You have no feeling. Because the neural system in the muscle tissue is made of copper oxide. That's how you get the instant transfer of information. And the ones, on the other hand, you carry a CO2 because it's part of the information transfer. We all carry it. And you're not using anything which is not in the nature of your own body. So if rotating a GANs creates radiation, Don't send anybody to fairground, because fairgrounds is nothing but rotating things. Have you been to the fairground recently? They put 20 of them and rotate them upside down in the area. So they're all ganses rotating, it's full of radiation. Never thought of it that way, did you? Now you go to a fair, you see a bunch of ganses, because we're all made of ganses, rotating. Just try to find better free energy. It's so simple, it's ridiculous, huh? Because it's the way you're made. It's what you're made of. We told you from beginning, your body is made of gans. I was standing on the fairground, my son and my wife going on it a few days ago, and I thought, my God, how much energy, where can I capture? Because, and the speed they go, we are wasting our time here. They turn them upside down, they twist them, they put them everywhere you like. And we don't say, where is the X-ray and gamma ray, and is there a government to learn how much energy comes out of our bodies, how much of it is radiation? Scaremongering has managed to run kings. So you have to understand, you are made of gans, and please, when you go home, don't play dancing, because you release a lot of gamma rays, because your field interacts with the field of your wife, child, interaction of fields, this is radiation and it's dangerous. And when you do it, you're a thief, you haven't paid somebody and everything else because they couldn't rob you. Paymasters in hiding. So now you understand. Don't go to any fairs. Fairs are illegal because they release gamma rays. And we are not coming for chicken tonight because chicken could have been running and he hit another chicken. It could be gamma rays in his body. So understand the conversion of energy. Now you had free energy 3 weeks ago. Now you have free food. Before you looked at only the gans of orange and banana, if you could make it. Now you have a plasma and a freedom to convert whatever you like. In the coming weeks, as I said, when you come back in the second session for the knowledge seekers, we show you a pipe and an environment that whatever you wish will drip from the pipe. Because it's a plasma. It does exactly what does your body do. At a point of need, converts it to a bone. At a point of need, converts it to sugar. It's how you develop the technology and how now one of the easiest way for you to convert is very simple. As I said this morning in the teachings, make yourself a nano coating or a GANS or a plasma strength of gold and put a nano or a strength of material gold and then just put a plasma pipe in and God gives you tons of gold raining on the ground. So if your dream is to make gold tonight, you can go home, don't rob a bank, find some gold, nano coat it, put it in the container, and try to find a way to create a flowing plasma in the body of a man or in a container. You have your gold. But there's one point. How much gold can you sell? Because you all know how to make gold. The first few guys will sell a lot because there's a lot of it, there are a lot of fools. Then it becomes a fool's gold because everybody helps them. This is the process of regeneration in life, in a space. Because In the space, you are in a condition of a plasma, you enter an environment which then it dictates, according to its environmental strength, how you're going to be manifested. There is no difference between you coming out and having a turning up as a banana, or you entering as a gans in the environment of a planet, and that planet decides what you turn up to be. Would you like to be made of gold, a walking gold man, or plutonium? Because it's the environment which decides. This is what I said from the beginning, from early teachings. And I write it again for the second, third time. 20% you, physicality, 80% comes from the environment. So you come to understand in a very simple way the game of life for man on this planet is over, because now you start understanding the work of the space. Universal community, this is how it works, not on a matter state. Nowhere in the universe is the real estate, because real estate is the whole of the universe. Because you can have energy as much as you like, where you work, the way you want. And then, if you understand how you can go from this state of matter to this, avoiding this, then you have found a way of communication through the plasma again. Instantaneously. Your body doesn't wait, or they're coming to become a cell of your, let's say, toe, and thinking, how am I going to make it? Information, plasma, emotion, three together, instantaneously made. Body of the man really produces billions of them every day. So you become another billion and one. The people who know me a long time always used to say, they say, in the universe, there is 1 million stars made every day. And because I know how to make it, I make it 1,000,001, because I know how to make a star. Simple. You create a plasma. You condition the plasma into its working the way you want. This is now makes the nonsense of all the wars what we've done for literally nothing. Now you can free. And if you're intelligent enough and you understand the process, you can make a gans from a stone. It doesn't need to be a metal, because it's a gans that releases its energy, that it matters how you convert that energy to contain as a plasma to convert it back. Very soon we'll have merchants of plasma. We had a gold merchants, we had a coal merchants, now merchants of plasma. Different type of plasma for different position in the planet. You're going to planet Zeus, have a plasma Zeus. Would you like some? Exchange market. Dutch will start it very soon. They managed to get you in a CO2 habit, Greenpeace, but global warming, they get you into another position. But how you can sell, how you can buy what is in the process of the nature. And once you get, and once you take into space, you understand this, do you need to rob? Do you need to kill? Do you want to steal? What do you want to steal from what you already have? You can have whatever you like. Is there an end to the greed of the man now that we know how you can have a free energy? And please don't rotate it, because there is no certificate for it yet, because fairgrounds have already approved it. So understand what is on the table and use the knowledge to make the others to understand that through it we can push for world peace, not through arms. I can build cups and walk around, give to people, and you come back tomorrow, I give you the same cup. Today, you wanted banana, you receive banana. Tomorrow is apple pie, you receive apple pie. But nobody will go hungry. You were all baffled by cup of life, but the cup of life is the essence of the plasma which carries inside it. So now start understanding how, and those are the physicians, those are the doctors who listen. I know a lot of doctors listen to this program. Start looking, changing your knowledge and degrees into conversion of the plasma, into the elements of the body of the man, that man finds true respect for you, not out of the fear of their life they come to you, out of the pleasure of sharing knowledge when they come to you. Then you can serve. Then we understand there is no need to be any different than sharing knowledge in a free way. I saw something very interesting yesterday. Somebody, I told you about the Indian guy. We saw his just pictures and understand. I immediately understand what the guy talks. I offered him, you say what you want, whatever you want, you can have. But the guy is young. And somebody came and says he needs 250,000 in prepayment, and then he needs 250,000 and €1 per piece he sells. In India, if you have $100, you're a millionaire. I said to Caroline, stop. I said, do you know something? If this guy has learned a little lamp, I just want to encourage that knowledge goes in his country, worth $500,000, how much do I worth? What's the knowledge I bring and make things? I can make a lot of things in the hidden pieces and just make bankroll. It means around the foundation are a lot of us stupid people who still measure money. We ask for money because we have to be able to give the ones who don't have. So if an 18-year-old boy has made one little shining lamp, small with a battery, I think I deserve the World Bank reserve for my reactors. As the Chinese ambassador said, there is not enough money in the world banks to pay for what you have brought. And it's free and a gift. Because it has no value. It's the knowledge of the universe. Where do you want to bank it? In planet Zeus? So learn how to use it. Learn to use it safe and teach people to use it safely. Then we achieve something. Otherwise, the safety of using it is in telling them, don't take if you don't need. That's the only safety you need to teach. The rest is a natural process. How you make it, how you do it. Somebody very recently told me, why do you like such an old car? You should be driving a Rolls Royce. I said, I've driven my Rolls Royce. Now I understand, as long as it's got 4 wheels, it take me A to B, doesn't matter about it. Then be doing that. Money is irrelevant. How do you do it and how you pressurize it? Why do you put people on exile for stealing knowledge? Something very important, a lot of knowledge seekers, you've got to realize something very nice. I'll repeat this on Thursday. 8 years, 9 years in Belgium, we achieved none. 2 years in Italy, we achieved knowledge seekers, universities, institutes around the world, scientists working, billions of people doing. I wonder why and who was blocking. Here, independently, I managed to share the knowledge worldwide freely. There, you know how. So it has to be worth the exile. I said to Caroline, What we teach now is what 3 exiles we've been through. Even though now, they start another game. Because thieves never change their color. They just find different way of robbing. So you have to understand the game is over. The game is a reality of understanding the creation of the past. If you understand plasma, understand make it, I think you'll be wasting your time tomorrow to make these beads. But you make a lot of good time because Africans like to make beads. If you teach them to make these beads, and this is food to them, you've done your job. Been to Africa, they love to make beads. Now instead of making beads, putting it on their arm, show them how to make a bead, putting it on their arm, that they never go hungry. That's the way the progress has to be. Unconditional survival for the whole race. And don't forget, this was a very good experience for me. 250,000, 500,000 for a tiny bit of my own knowledge. I have to pay for somebody to give him a factory to start job without any benefit for the foundation. So you got to start thinking, do we need to take clowns with us into space? Is there a room for clowns in the space? I don't think so, but it all depends on you. How much you want to take it and develop it. Now you have both energy, food, and another version of food, you like to call it medicine. Because that's what medicine is. What you're short of in a package, you're given in another different package, but at the right time, the right order. So in a way, you have everything you need in one. But I said something very funny to somebody a couple of days ago. I said, you know, with these beads of Alex, we put it in the car and the car goes. No fuel, as he says, he's using it. We tested it, it's correct. Can we do the same with the donkey? Just put a bead around his neck and he can go forever. Do we need to feed the animals that they commit a crime? Or shall we make a bead for a fish and a lion? I'll make a bead for any lion you want. When he's not hungry, he won't kill. But human lions wearing different clothing. So now you see exactly where it's going. In 2 weeks, you're freed from 3. And if you want, I can show you the 4th too. Still. And the strange thing is, his name is not even Alex. I call him Alex because he's the best way everybody understands. You know what you can do with this? If you do it the right way, you can control and nourish the soul of the man. And because you take from what you need and you give what you do not need in the right order, you can elevate the soul of the man. And if you understand that, in reality, this is useless. How far you can extend your knowledge is how far you can deliver the knowledge that it can be used. Because you think you're going to teach only to the man, which is on this planet. If you understood correctly, in time you or your grandchildren or your spin-offs will teach the same thing to another race which is trapped like a man in a cave of animals. And that's the whole purpose. If it's a lot of us who understand this, A lot of us can deliver this. You have all the food you need. Nourish the soul if you know how to do it. The physicality is looked after for its energy, for its motion, and everything else. Because if you deliver the right kind of energy, you find enough positioning that you don't need to fly. You go where you want as you are. And I'll show you this very soon. Because it goes back into the essence of one thing is everything and everything is one thing. As some of you know, we are here for another week, 10 days, and we leave these premises. But it's very joyful to go because we are free from shackle of intimidation and threats and whatever would come with it. Because it's all to do with materialistic state. What I can get from it physically. Now, I get nothing, but the beauty of it is the foundation now has people around the world who will not go hungry, who will have enough energy, and the medicine is free. Very soon, a large number of you will start playing and finding, oh, this energy is the energy of antibiotic for such and such a thing. This thing is good if you have a headache. It works like an aspirin. Now we buy different plasmas of aspirin, or we know how to make it, we just copy it. Really on the internet. Then you go into dictionary of plasma for what? So much crap. What is aspirin? Delivers certain fields that balances the energy within the structure of the brain. You don't feel the pain. So now it should be very easy to make a plasma of GANs of aspirin. Yeah, East Asia guys are very fast with this. You will see it. Africans, I was talking to Alex, he's already telling me things, how he's developing it. So, those who are worried about the material world, just do a little bit of work. Tell your friends, can I borrow a necklace from you made of gold? Get 4 or 5 of your friends come together, put your gold necklaces. What do you do with it? You make a nano gold of it, and then you get the plasma into it. For 1 gram of gold they give you, you bank 100 a day. Because now you can make anything in any state exactly the same way as your body does. Your body makes everything as it needs. So, how many of you actually go out and chew a nail to get iron in your body? You need iron. If you're short of iron, something happens to you. It goes all black. Mimic and the rest of it. How many of you actually go out and get a nail and chew it? Because the nail, the iron will be good for you, you need energy. Nothing. You only absorb iron when it's in a gas state coming from a condition, a specific strength. So, how do you make iron that you can eat it? It can be digestible. How do you make a gas of it that your body can absorb it, or will you make up to now? Listen, I go back onto it because you've got to understand something very interesting. You lot started with the matter. You made it nano, and then you made it a GANs, and then some of you drank the GANs, and some of you said it can kill you, but you're made of GANs, it can never kill you, because it's you drinking what you're made of. And then now you have made systems, and now you have a free plasma that itself can produce the matter you want. I repeat this again and again till comes home the process. then you'll see how much waste of time and life has been. But it's taken millions of years for man to get to this point. If you try to explain plasma 20 years ago, the guy is cuckoo. Now, the ones who are protecting the theft, they call everybody else a cuckoo. It's very easy to understand that now, more or less, there is another state here which is not for the man. This is the state which, in time, some souls will achieve. So, you know the cycle. So, you decide where you want to be. But remember, do not go to fairgrounds because they rotate you. And it's dangerous. You radiate gamma rays. You have to have a certificate to go to a fairground from now on. Are you ready for a certificate? So, understand exactly where everything comes from. Exactly how you can interact, how you can create barriers, and in creating barriers with a plasma, you create cancer itself. If you hit a plasma with a matter, hardly anything. But if you hit a plasma with another plasma, depending on the magnetic field strength and the speed of rotation and the strength of the four forces, dictates what residual you're going to get. Residual on Earth is nitrogen. And because of the high rotation, it elongates, lose some. This is what happens to nitrogen. You create nitrogen plasma, and in the process of the rotation of rubbing of the fields of the Earth and the Sun, it elongates. In this elongation, sometimes it tails off and sometimes gets added on. If it tails off, it becomes carbon. And if it gets added on because it's elongated, it becomes oxygen. And in the process of rubbing and separation, sometimes the guy gets separated but can't find home. It becomes a helium. And sometimes, because it's too fast conversion, it stays at hydrogen. And if this helium manages to fix itself, it becomes oxygen. Simple as that. So create a gravitational magnetic motion, and then you decide what the speed of interaction gives you what you need. So in creating a dynamic magnetic field interaction, you decide the packages, and these packages are carbon, oxygen, gold, or whatever you need. Depends how hard you rub it. It's very much like a sanding machine. You know this rolling sanding machine, you sharpen the knife. If it goes very slowly, it cuts big pieces off. If it goes very fast, you get the sparkles coming up. But it's still the same metal. There is no difference. Here, you release from the friction of the field plasmas of different strength. And then you decide what you want on the grinding machine of the universe. Smaller plasma, bigger plasma, interacting plasma. So it's very simple to understand that those who have fear and frighten the others to have fear, they have to adjust themselves to understand the reality. Otherwise, as I said, don't go to fairgrounds because a bunch of ganses are rotating, and a lot of them. I was counting on one fairground, there were 50 ganses at about 50 kilo. That was 2,500 kilo of ganses. And in our reactors, we have about 5 grams. It's laughable, isn't it? And the idiots who follow them play the same idiot game. So a plasma depends on its packages, becomes what you get from it. One can be calcium, and one can be energy. Different strength can be motion. And if you get it the right, strength can become your emotion. So you have managed to create the essence of creation in its true meaning and its true physicality. And the proof of the pudding is in eating it. You release it, you took it from a matter, you convert it to a gas, you rotate it, and then you collect it and you put it back in energy. There is no more proof of the confirmation of the science than what is in front of you, unless you want to deny everything. How can you put something rotating, a few grams of it, and then put 5 times the energy out in the grid? People who ask for a proof of the technology, it means whatever you give us, we have to ignore it because otherwise we have no bread to eat to rob the others from. There is no stronger proof of technology. That's what it sits in front of you. Any of you can produce 1 amp, 1 milliohm, 1 milliwatt more than what you put in. You're geniuses. And now you're getting 5 times. So if anybody asks for a proof of the pudding, he said, it's there, you watch. If you don't understand, it means you're not. There is a reason for it. So you decide how you want to create energy, food, and how you want to interact it within the structure of the body of yourself. Do you want to open a palace that you can walk through, and the fields of different plasmas, you decide what to go, or you build yourself a food belt. You have it for 5 minutes. Now I had my soup. Would you like to have one? Do we make chairs that people sit on it and they get fed and they go home? Have we reached that point of maturity to do it and close shop? Shall we make a few gas chairs and put it outside and say, free food, take 10 minutes to sit in? Why? What is personal? Oh, no, now you have every... This is another one. Which country did you come from? No. Okay, we wash it every time somebody goes, okay? A chair wash. A chair. No, we do it plasma wash. You're too expensive. So now you see how and where we are heading for. The structure is very simple. Implementing it is simpler, but implementing it the right way is the nightmare of governments because they lose control of abuse. So now it's very simple. Tomorrow, you are showing how to make belts, I was told. How are you going to make beads? If the, what do you call it, the webmaster, make this a public knowledge that everybody around the world who likes to watch it on the live stream, we have a, what do you call it, potluck party. You know what a potluck party is? People make their own food and they bring it. But bring your own gases and give each other plenty of time to digest. And give it free. Send it out of the nation as a gift. Whatever you make as a bead tomorrow, make it good, because we make a box of it and we send it to Ghana. They have short of energy. Make the bead correctly, at least we do something positive. Make 10 or 15 beads. Today I had an email in respect to the Ghanaian Space Institute. They need support. They need people to do it. And write them out. Take a video, let the cameraman take everything close. Whatever you make tomorrow, we register it first class. I'll pay for it. It'll be in 2 days' time in Ghana with the Space Institute. We send a copy, exact copy, to the Minister of Energy of Ghana. He's waiting for one because he says, I can't believe this. He couldn't be with us, the head of the energy, because as the head of the power company, he had no power to come on the internet. So maybe we start feeding back knowledge and the benefit of the back into society. Then we don't become criminals. We become part of the society. We criminal together. Make a cup and let them eat from it. Make a belt and say, this is it. For next week, you are here. Every lunch, make as many beads as you like. You make it a bead party. It doesn't matter, but we have to give. We have enough material to support. You have enough guns at home? Yeah? Are there any Italians near to us who carry guns? Please bring it to the institute. Send it by post, whatever. 7 kit starter. We can create, but if you're going to feed a nation, you can start it from today. But when you send it, please tell people don't rotate when you're wearing the belt. Not fairgrounds. You don't know what's happened, do you? I'll explain to you one day. So now, tomorrow, if you make it, this is the request from the Ghanaian government. Yeah? I open the phone for you. If you want, I'll read it for you. You know how desperate they are. This is this morning arrived. No, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, 8:30, half 12:30 in the morning. 30 in the morning. Hello, Mehran. I cannot wait to see Ghana going all out for the power product. Today was a holiday, so much could not be done. But Ghana Space Technology Institute is so ready to lead the discussion with the government of Ghana. And it goes on. They want it so bad. Tomorrow is yours. Help Ghana and then we help the others. Because once the Ghana have it, the other African nations follow it. And it's so easy to make. They want to give it to a nation. We don't have that many. You can't fly. I'm trying to get you flying back to Los Angeles with your own machine. You don't get the hint. So if you can go on the Keshe Foundation in Italy and ask as many as, we give you as many tables as you like to make as many belts. I'll buy enough cling film and tissue paper. The most expensive part of this thing is the tissue paper. So give you everything. From tomorrow, you have a week before you go, all of you. See how many nations we can send a free gift to in Africa, South America, Central Asia, the people who need it. At least we bring a good closure to our work. Free energy. And the thing is, I have 19 of these. It's very good in breaking into these things. You want one? There's about 19 in the basement. Yeah. You've got to talk to Caroline the nice way, you get one. So If you open it and you can put the beads in the right way, send it to Africa, they have their food too. But tell them not to rotate it, it's dangerous. So tomorrow, because we can explain something very simple. If we can get hold of ping pong balls and just send it to them, show them how they can rotate it, I put all the motors needed to rotate. And secondly, you don't need to rotate it. If you get the beads, I'll show you a new game. I was explaining it to Marco this afternoon. He said, huh? I said, that's simple. You don't need a dynamic plasma. If you can make your insulation good enough, GaNs is not conductive. Why don't you put your beads in a bed of GaNs? Why do you want to flow it from down to up to collect it? You collect whatever the plasma releases. But make sure all the nano-coating wires are well nano-coated. By the way, you want to make these things. Where is your nano-coating wires? That was Armand. Oh, yeah, you have enough. He was making nano-coating, and it's full. Okay. If we have anybody nano-coated wires anywhere in Italy, please come to the Institute and bring some. There we are. Maybe this will be a beginning for Ghanaians and the rest of Africa to move on. And if, pardon? Don't know the sugar. And I'll tell you something. I'm prepared on behalf of the Cash Foundation. As many as you make, I fly you one to Ghana to deliver direct. That we know it gets there in our hand. So buy a ticket, I pay for it, but put everything together. We don't wait for the post that they might steal it, because we know they're very good at it. Just be careful they don't crash the plane. Would you like a detour to Arizona? So if you make it, show it works, we take it back. We pay for the flight to make sure it gets in Ghana. You show them how to do it. Just don't receive a package. Show them how to make it. Spend a week with them and come back. The foundation pays for it. Now, amongst you, find a volunteer who's prepared to go to Africa. Tomorrow, next week. Say, tell her, come to Africa. But don't forget, you got to start taking your anti-mosquito things very quickly. I used to go like this with it. Pardon? What? The cancer? Yeah, but we haven't found out yet. So, in a way, if you can make the beads and make it to work, we pay for you to go to Ghana to deliver and teach them. You're just not going anywhere. You got to teach to understand, to sleep with them the way I did in the tent, on the floor, feel how they felt, drop them so long for. At least we take them back to their own sources. A challenge for a week. So, shall we call it a day? Was it 5 o'clock yet? Yeah? 4:30. Do we have another session?
Well, there is the kids workshop, actually.
Okay, no problem. Are there any questions? No, Marco is trying to fly. The machine he's made is a time machine. He's so pedantic. He's made such a beautiful system, huh? When you see the system, you fall in love with it. That's alone before you use it. You don't want to touch the thing. It might break. It's so nice. So, no questions?
Only a comment from Renan, who says, hey guys, try to wrap around your car battery clamps with nano-coated wires, one for positive, one for negative. Do not connect. You will get a great difference in your driving. You will see a great difference in your speed and acceleration. Done it with my car. It works great.
He's from Philippines.
It's Renan, yes, Renan Lim.
He is from Philippines.
I believe so, yes, yes, he says so.
Yeah. This is what I told you. The Filipinos have gone a step. We invite him to come and explain. Can you put him online if he's there? Can he speak?
You should be able to, just a second.
Yes, I am here.
Hi. You are the gentleman who's developed this, or are you copying from the guy who's done it?
I just copied it, Mr. Cash. The guy was from, his name is in YouTube, in Facebook, now user NA.
Yeah?
Yeah, he tried it, and I also tried it because I have a broken circuit in my car, so I keep on discharging my battery. So I didn't fix it yet, so I tried to test it with my car. So I just wrap it around, and now the short circuit or maybe a parasitic disconnection in my car got lost. It's been feeding the wires with the demand, and it's charging my battery strong. And I drive my car for 4 days already, and it's been accelerating so fast. Not normal to my old car. It's been a 7-year-old car, but right now I feel it.
What is your fuel consumption?
Right now for 4 days, I still ran about 15 kilometers, but I have only 15% of my fuel. So I'll be trying to check with 15% fuel how long if can reach 100 kilometers or 200. I'll be testing it for a long drive.
Long time. Now you understand. Can you explain exactly how you do it?
First is I just wrap the battery clamp of the car. So there's two terminals, the positive terminal and the negative terminal. So the battery terminal, the positive one, I just wrap around a stranded nano-coated wires. Just wrap it about three turns and just put them together, twist them together.
No,
Closing
we are lost. We are lost. We are lost. We are a bunch of ignorance.
oh,
Let us
just
start teaching children. Explain from point one again. You got a nano-coated wires?
yeah, nano-coated wire, and I twist it on the positive terminal of the battery.
Uh-huh.
Yes, the positive terminal, which consists the clamp and the anode or the cathode or the electrode. So I just wrap around the clamp.
You wrap it around the
Clamp.
positive point.
Yeah, positive point, the clamp. And
The
also,
clamp,
yeah, the clamp. Not directly to the battery, the clamp. So next is I wrap another one on the negative.
You put it on a negative clamp.
Yes, also another wire.
Yeah.
So those two wires, those the only two wires I placed.
Nano-coated copper.
Yeah.
Okay, and then?
It works great. I also tried it with my driver. He tried it in his motorcycle, and it works great also with his motorcycle. And also my trucks. We're trying to see the starting is doing great. So I'm gonna try it to all my trucks here. Maybe it's gonna be helpful to prolong battery life.
But what about your fuel consumption on the trucks?
I will be observing it because for the trucks I still have only 4 days of observation yet. Not too much of time.
Okay, could you come back and let us know next week or by Thursday?
Yes. I'll let you know on Thursday what happened to the truck, because most of them are diesel, so I connected those wires also.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome, Chikesh.
Thank you indeed. Thank you for coming. I told you the people in the East Asia are running with it. And these are normal people. The way the guy explains it scientifically is so precise, and it's exactly how I explained and nobody understood. But this way, he does it in a different way than what I do. But we don't know exactly what the outcome is yet. All it is, I have been telling you, the guys in Philippines are running with it. They are doing, some people in East Asia, in Vietnam, and the rest Cash Foundations are testing new food. This is your battery. You have positive and negative. And all they do, they put wires, nano-coated wires, around it. Do you know what it means? Why it works? Because all the energy is reversed back into the battery, and as the energy goes through, increases it to feed off. It's the conservation of plasma. No, 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 no. No, no, nothing. That's all. Nothing. Nothing. It's the same. It doesn't interact with the benzene. It releases the plasmatic energy into the starter motor, and the starter motor feeds a plasma force into running the camshaft. Pardon? No, it's all diesel car. Yes. We show it to you in the next few days. Yes, because it shouldn't be. If you've been sitting here and been around the teachings for some time, this should not be a puzzle to you. Because what is the nano layer? Nano layer is absorbing all energies. Only thing which the polarity does is shows what to go, where to go. It doesn't do anything else. So because it shows where to go, it shows the direction of flow, so it takes anything from the environment. In fact, all it does, it creates the same thing as you've seen with the bead. The same. But what happened, because it's plasmatic, it doesn't matter if it's got a short circuit in the battery or not. That's why he's puzzled. But scientifically, the guy who's done it has explained it very nicely. I can bring it to you to read it. But he still couldn't understand it, but he explained it must be that way. But if you look at it, you've done the same thing here. You have created a positive and negative. The situation in the premises has created a demand on the grid. And all you show where you want the flow to be. But because of the strength of the fields, you limit yourself to 5.5 because you don't demand more. If you take more, you can go to megawatts. Call shows. Yeah. The plasma is exactly, he looks at the connection in a matter state, but in fact is a plasma connection which goes through. Yes, exactly, that's all he does. In fact, if you look, that's all he has done. You get this nano-coated, plug it on top of your, but one thing I tell you, be very careful. They don't tell you, but it's good to know, direction of the rotation in a positive and negative will have a good effect on your system. Yeah? You understand? So when you're doing it, no, it's not that. It's that the plasma gathered has to go in a direction. You make it smoother, it still goes because it flows that way. But you find a much better performance. This will do the same. This has been, yeah, direction of the flow, you follow the same, you go. But don't forget, it's very important. They use a single wire. So don't forget, now you're going into the plasma business, it's you who decide the direction of the flow. Remember this? I keep on telling you, you remember the leaf with a tip? Yeah. This morning, I drew the bird with a beak. Remember, when you put such a thing like this, you have to decide the direction of the flow. No, it's just simple as that. So now, run your cars tonight. But there's a problem. If you have 2 or 3 batteries, one will run out, the other one doesn't. You know, some cars have 2 or 3 batteries. All Mercedes have 2 batteries, minimum, some 3. BMW, some have 2 batteries. Rolls-Royce have some places 3 to 4. Depends on what they're supporting. You have one main battery, and then you have a battery for electronics. You have a different battery for chassis and gearbox. There's so much electronics, it drains. Because if you do, then in circuitry, you can load the other one through the others. No, what is, no, it doesn't do. Yes, but it is different way because you go, you see, you go through the motor, through the starter motor. You understand? There is the fuel. It's different flow of the thing. It's a mechanical plasmatic pressure of the plasma which pushes the rotation of the motor. That's why they still use fuel. The reason they use fuel because at the end the pump keeps on sucking. It's like it's running on a standby. You leave the motor and you run. If you cut the fuel line, you'll find you still should run. You understand? If you cut your fuel line, you still should run. Pardon? It doesn't do any harm. That's for different job. But extended knowledge, I told you, East Asia, the things I see coming in from East Asia is mind-boggling. They are not crazy, they're very clever. So, excuse me, tomorrow you can make a lot of beads and some things for the Africans to show how to do their cars too. Free flow, because they can't afford any fuel. So now you see, and the strangest thing is, you missed the whole point. He didn't ask for 250,000. He didn't ask for a patent. He asked for nothing. Comes online, knowledge free, share. Ethos of the Keshe Foundation, without paying 250,000 pounds for shaking hand and 250,000 pounds before product. Thank you very much. This is how knowledge is shared. Go home and do it and put it all over the internet. Let 500 million people use it. Tomorrow morning, petrol will be 10 cents a liter because they got to get rid of it. Otherwise, they can't do. Refineries are closed. I know. I used to be in that business. You want to see documents? I'll show you. One good thing is somebody explained They've seen my books. They know how many presidents and kings I have as friends. And the thing is, I even know their mistresses, the telephone number they've seen. So the reality is, now go on the internet and put it on. Put it on that everybody tries. Cancel your copper wire, pull a wire out of the window, the door you don't use at home, and the lamp which is broken, you don't use it, pull the wire on, nano coat it, wrap it around the fuel tank or whatever you like, the battery is done. Oil industry has gone, is buried today. By a Filipino. Very nice people. This is the beauty of exactly what I said and I repeat. They come, they give you the knowledge. You saw Alex coming, giving the knowledge without anything. And patterns has gone through the window. There is no need for pattern. And the beauty of it is people who follow my ethos work the same way. They have no worries because they know the guy is happy, he's saving on the fuel, he's got his car running, he's done. I stood 4 murder attempts, 3 exiles for you to have this free. And now it's coming the way we wanted it. The rest is all bullshit. The most important thing is the knowledge is getting siphoned to the people who need it and they can use it. The only problem is we've been betrayed all the way down the road by the people who call themselves friends. And now you see 2.5 years here, knowledge flies out of different nationalities, 4 corners of the earth. Philippines, Nigeria, everywhere else. You have a boy who's doing it. You got the Georgian guy who can't keep his foot here, he's considering to go back in there. No, Armenia. Okay, we call it a day. Thank you very much for today. And we have the children program.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank you,
very much.
Ash.
Just give me 1 second to get some drink, please.
Yep, we'll have a couple-minute break here to regroup. Okay, that's the end of the 39th Health Teaching Workshop for Tuesday, July 21st, 2015. And thank you, everybody, for attending.